And now you're tuning in to the Women Unplugged podcast.
Hey, loves. It's your girl, Bougie Candy, giving you all the juice and all the tea.
And of course, Lavina J, giving you everything you need, real news and real perspective.
And of course, it's your fly girl, EB, with a little bit of lifestyle and a lot of fashion.
And I'm Icy One, here to open your mind and dive into your spiritual soul.
All right, ladies. So it's only right that we discuss restaurant etiquette. Okay?
Child.
Now, restaurant etiquette can be restaurant goers and restaurant workers.
Okay.
We have to talk about both. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me set this disclaimer here for everyone. When you're going out to eat, dinner, carry out, you should budget in a tip.
Ooh.
That is just a need to do, okay? And I just want to be serious about this.
Facts.
Because you just can't just go out to eat and be like, okay, I'm going to order this $30 meal. I'm going to get this drink, $10, and not include a tip. That's not going out to eat. So let's sit that there again. I'll say it again. Budget your tip in your dining out experience.
Budget your tip.
Okay? So, restaurant goers, please give your wait staff, cooks, host, bussers, grace.
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
Yeah.
It is important. You are not the only one in the restaurant.
Right.
Okay? So, ladies, whether you've been a restaurant employee or a restaurant goer, tell me about an experience when it comes to restaurant etiquette for you. Lavina. You got that
So
look.
I've been on both sides of the spectrum. Like, be real about the real. I've been a server, and I obviously am a frequent customer. It is what it is. As a server, I feel like it is one of the most, other than like being a dancer of some sort, it is one of the jobs that you are putting yourself out there the most. Like, you are putting yourself out there, and you're telling somebody, I'm going to give you this great service. Please value me and what I'm doing. And, tip me appropriately, because as a server, you don't get a high hourly wage.
No, you don't.
Like,
Say
you're
it.
getting maybe $3.
$2.50
Normally.
normally.
Unless it's somewhere different. Maybe if you're in LA, you'll get $5 or $6 just because of where it is, and then you'll get plus your tips. But anyway, as a server, it's just important, one, that you have a good attitude. Two, that you are knowledgeable about where you work. If somebody is asking you about menu items, because something that my husband does, he's big on being like, oh, I've never been here before. What's your favorite thing?
Yes.
Right.
You know you eat there. You know you get free food, or you know you get a discount. Just already know what you have, what is your favorite thing, to be able to give to someone else so they can know what to order. These are the things that also help people feel like you're giving them great service. Right. Smile. Don't be
Smell
walking
good.
Oh my God. And not just spray perfume. I just was outside and now I'm about to spritz all this body spray on real quick and walk up to the table. No, like, be fresh, take a shower, bathe.
Hygiene.
On the flip side, as a customer, I am so guilty because I have went to many places and not tipped somebody based on their attitude. Now, it's not something that I'm proud of, but it is something that I do, because if I'm spending my money, I'm saying this is the quality of service that I want. I have an expectation of what I need to receive. If you walking up, I shouldn't have did that. If you walking up, slamming menus on the table, you got an attitude, you looking like,
Child.
this is your first hour on, but you look like you've been ready to go since you walked in.
Yeah, that's me.
You're not getting a tip from me. If you get my order wrong, you're probably not going to get a tip from me. Only because you have...
Where's the grace, Lavina?
You have the...
Where's the grace?
But no, grace comes
Grace,
to the people,
no,
the server that's
goes
writing
to
it down.
people that make mistakes.
The server that's writing it down because they just want to make sure that they get it right. I understand that sometimes we move quicker. We get so used to the menus that we're like, oh, I know it. I know what to do. But there's a point where you just need extra assistance. And it's okay, especially if it's busy.
Right.
I'd rather you write my stuff down so I know you about to go walk over there and type it in right than you being like, oh, no, I remember. And now you come back 5 minutes later. Oh, did you order Now
Yeah,
I'm pissed.
exactly.
And I'm annoyed. And I know my food is going to take longer because you probably already did it wrong.
For me, I ain't tipping on no takeout. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm real deal Holyfield, and I ain't tipping on no takeout. I've worked on both as well. I've worked as a girl in multiple clubs, a waitress, at like regular restaurants and lounges or club areas. And I even have my bartending license. So I'm going to say from the person who's purchasing, I'm not tipping for takeout because you're simply ringing something up, packaging. A lot of times I am having to ask for extra condiments or silverware. So I'm not tipping you for takeout. However, I am completely against you going in. And I used to be that cheap teenager in college to go tip $1.50 or round it up to make it even.
Well, $1 is better than nothing.
I was bad. So that's what I will say. But I'm with Lavina, and I've worked on the side where we've been super busy.
Yes.
I didn't have the help, or they gave me an extra table that I know I couldn't handle. I'm not going to expect a tip from them like that if I know that I missed something, or if I have to come back, or if I got something wrong. But then working the table as well, tell me all my condiments up front, dog. I don't want to ask you, do you need anything? Especially if I'm busy. Do you need anything else, ma'am? No, I'm good. Okay.
Well, those are
Circle
the ranchers.
around. Can I get some ranch?
Yes, those
Can
are the
I
ranchers.
get some extra this, some extra that? and it can be genuine. And it can be an honest, they just forgot or didn't mention it, but it can really inconvenience me as a server.
No,
if
you got fries, you need some dip.
If you got wings,
dry fries.
I hate to be like, nah, I'm good. I don't need no. You sure? You don't need no dressing. None. You pot. Okay. Because then if I gotta come back, then I guess what? I'm a New Yorker. I got an attitude. If I'm coming to a customer's table and I'm like, hey, do you guys need anything else? And they're like, no, we're good. And I circle back around to do a quick checkup, and you're like, oh, I need this and I need that and I need some ranch and I need some ketchup and I need some napkins, and it's like, man, we're not really considerate sometimes on how that may inconvenience your server. And now you wouldn't have that affect my tip, but that's not on me. You should have told me what you needed from jump. So I just say we have to be considerate, y'all, when we're going out. A lot of times, definitely. I don't think it's common knowledge that people really realize that we don't get, or that servers normally don't get $2.50 over $2.50, or they don't even really get $10 most times. I mean, now as a bartender, I can say, if you're working in a more upscale restaurant or a more upscale club, they'll give you a base pay. That is like 9 or 8 or 10. But for most servers, and almost every job I worked as a server, you either had nothing, it was just strictly tips, or you were just making like your little $2.50. And that is not enough
just
money.
Enough for them to tax you.
No, ma'am.
Your tips.
Facts. Okay. I am not like eat out all the time person. Like I'll go out and I'll try restaurants every once in a while if I've heard like a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah.
But I have like my set 10 restaurants in Atlanta that I've gone to my entire life because they've been here my whole life. And I know for a fact I'm going to go up there, I'm going to order my food. Homegirl going to come check on me at least 3 times before my food come out. You know what I'm saying? It really makes me mad when I go to restaurants. And I mean, this is such a simple thing. But when I sit down at the table and you don't offer me water, I know that that's so, like, something weird to be, like, stressed about. But no matter what I'm drinking, people need water. You need water. So even if I don't order a water, like, at some point, you should come offer me a water. Even if I tell you no a million times, you sure you don't need no water? Like, I'm going to tip you if you offer me water. If you don't offer me no water, you don't ever bring me no water, we got a problem. Because I'm saying, like, that's a basic part of service for me. I'll tip anybody. Even if your service is bad, because I have not been in the service industry. I've never been a waiter, but I've been in the management side, and it's really sad when somebody's coming to you and they can't pay their bills, or they need help, whatever, getting their kids from daycare or anything, because they were making enough money from the paycheck that's supposed to pay for them to be able to do everything. I didn't see you work 80 hours this week. I know you're exhausted. Like, now I got to take out my paycheck for sure. I'm going to give you some money because I'm not going to let you, you know what I'm saying? So I no matter what the situation is, no matter how much I don't like you as a person, Stacey, you took my order wrong. You didn't bring out my water. And I had to ask you for silverware. I'm going to give you 50 cents.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you 50 cents. Because I'm just not the one.
This is so crazy.
Over here.
I feel
I'm going to speak on all of you because I've worked in a restaurant during college and before college for about 10 years. And I actually went back into the restaurant because I'm just a people person and I can get that guap fast. But Lavina and okay about people coming to your table and they're not happy. I agree with you totally, because at the end of the day, sometimes your mood can change someone else's mood, as a restaurant worker.
Yes.
So I know it's been plenty of days I have not been upbeat in general, but if I go to the table and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I like your nails, girl. Whatever, that person could have been having a bad day and was like, thank you. It could have lifted that person up. Do I believe they don't deserve a tip? I don't. The reason why is I think we have this look about restaurant workers like they shouldn't be appreciative or they shouldn't get things that other people get because of the job itself. We think about that even with COVID right now. When they closed down restaurant, these people, if you worked in a restaurant as a server and you was making $1,000 a week, and then COVID happens, like your life is changed.
Yeah.
It has changed. Speaking to Candy about carryout, I get you think that they're not doing anything, but anyone that prepares anything for you, and that's just what I believe. When I get a wax, when I get my nails done, when I get my hair done, when I get my eyelashes done, when I get a carryout, when I go out to eat, I tip because thank you for doing something for me. Now, if I do it for you, I expect you to tip me.
Right.
If I do your hair, like some people don't tip when you get your hair done. So some people don't.
Yeah.
But I do. And anything that someone's doing for me, I'm going to tip them.
I think that only thing is when you're talking about etiquette, that means there's some form of manners involved. So regardless, because it could be any kind of job, but we're specifically talking about restaurant etiquette. If your job is in a restaurant, and no matter what job you're really going to have, the higher ups are going to tell you, check your attitude at the door.
Right.
No matter what is happening to you, no matter what is going on in your life, unfortunately, though we understand and we have compassion for you, by the time you get to this table, that attitude has to shift and it has to change. Yeah. So I am the person that I'm saying, I love people. I love blessing people. I'm the person, I'll leave $100 tip on a $50 meal if I'm moved that way. But
go ahead.
If you are doing a poor job, I don't agree. Because I don't even reward my children for poor behavior. If my daughter does something bad, I'm not about to give her a cookie just because she's my daughter. I just don't believe in rewarding people for behavior that is not appropriate. So if you're a server and you're doing a great job, you definitely deserve a tip. And this is your job, so you're coming to work. And regardless of how much you're making in your hourly, you do deserve something. But if you come and your etiquette is not up to par with, especially where we are, because I'm not talking about like going to McDonald's. Therefore, I'm spending my hard-earned money that I've worked for, putting myself out there on a meal to enjoy myself, but the service is not up to par. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
I understand that totally. And I think a lot of restaurants think of this too, just like what you said about gratuity. Let's go here.
Right.
Because a lot of restaurants don't do gratuity because some servers don't give you that great service, right? When we include gratuity, that means that you can do whatever.
Right.
Because you expecting a tip, right? So I think that's
20%.
why a lot of restaurants take that out. And if you notice, a lot of restaurants are not including that. So I get you, but I definitely think they should get something because I usually tip 20%. That's what I expect. That's what I give. So that's what I do. But say if she has an attitude, clearly, I'm not going to tip 20%, but I am going to tip something. And that brings me to this here. People that work in the restaurant, right? We can't be prejudiced at the tables that come in because that's what they do, because we have gotten to in our mind that we don't have to tip some folks.
We know they ain't gonna tip us.
Yeah, that's
table
what they
number
say.
5. They ain't tipping,
especially being black, Indians. I've heard it where they're like, they ain't gonna tip me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
I've been there.
We can't be prejudiced at you. We can't. No. We gotta really give people exactly what we want back.
Yeah,
So I definitely think that having restaurant etiquette is so important, and I think we only look down at it because of what it is. Just like you said, Lavina, in a sense, if a person doesn't do the best job, they don't deserve it. Why in all other jobs?
Yeah.
They cannot do the best job and still get paid.
Regardless.
Well, you gonna get fired.
You get,
I don't know.
Not everybody.
I just feel like
because you call, I can call T-Mobile today.
maybe if it's a government job. If it's a government job,
They be like, there's something wrong with my phone.
the DMV,
I
they
can't
don't
even
ever
say
let
that.
nobody go.
I can't even say that because I'm a government employee. You don't want to hire me. Don't want to do
She
it.
said, I'm not working for nothing.
But I just think that we have to get a better outlook on restaurants and restaurant workers and going out to eat. You know, it's a relationship in a sense, you know, and we just got to do better. We got to do better.
I'm gonna be so real though. That's why I stick to like I said, if I've heard a lot of good things about a restaurant, I'm gonna show up.
Right.
But if I haven't heard anything good about it, I'm gonna take my butt to R. Thomas. I'm gonna take my butt to Mango's.
Something
I'm
you're
gonna take my
familiar
butt,
with, right.
to Eats where I know I'm gonna get what I want.
Right.
I know I'm gonna get the service out. Even if it's nobody in the restaurant, I'm gonna get the service I want.
Yeah.
They could be packed out the door. I'm gonna get the service I want. I'm going where I know. You know what I'm saying?
And then I think a lot of times it's about the management.
Yes,
You know, the management in
I
restaurants.
wish I could knock on some wood.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say we have to give some of those workers grace. That's the only reason why I say
agree.
that.
I think that's good.
Because, you know, when a busser is supposed to be picking up those plates and you're trying to do the next step, which is dessert or whatever, and they're not there. They're out taking a smoke break. Bruh.
Right.
Where's the manager at?
Yep.
When
Or
your
the hostess
sushi is supposed to be
overseeing you.
right, they just set you 5 tables.
Yes, ma'am.
Bruh, where's the manager?
I know. I
You know what I'm saying?
Do your job.
That's just
Do
real.
your job.
He got his
That
smoke
is
break. That's where he is.
Right.
Getting his salary. Getting his salary.
So this is the thing. As a restaurant worker, you have to be open-minded. And we have to stop assuming that blacks and others don't tip. Like, we got to do that. If you're going out to a restaurant to dine in or carry out, please tip. If
Yeah.
you don't, that's your business. That's what Tabitha said, okay?
Yeah.
But I would like to promote that, you know, because anything you do, any service you get, you know, and we're going, just like we had service today, our food today, we are tipping, you know. Any service that you get, I believe that you should tip. If you are a restaurant worker, stop judging people before you serve them. Be nicer, give people grace, and just tip. Put it in your budget, okay? Period. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Just saying.
Make it make sense, folks. Make it
Make it make sense.
Okay, so we have some big things happening in our country right now, and one of them is we have a new president-elect. Joe Biden has been elected our president, so you know, come 2021, January 20th, we have a new president, potentially. We also have our first female vice president-elect, Kamala Harris. So we are making massive moves, so many things are happening, but a part of this is, if you remember back in 2016, Trump won the Electoral College, but Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. In this case, in this election, you guys, 2020, Biden and Harris won the Electoral College and the popular vote.
Big deal.
They won both. It is huge. It is the first time that this has happened in years, setting record numbers. They're well above 78 million votes and counting. This is amazing. So now, according to the Wall Street Journal, more Georgians turned out to vote for this election than ever before. Now, Biden was leading Trump by more than 14,000 votes in Georgia as of Wednesday, November 11th, and 0.3% of the vote. If President-elect Joe Biden is declared the winner, it'll be the first time in Democratic history that a Democratic candidate will have been chosen in our state since 1992.
I was not even alive.
Yes, it's crazy. So I have to ask you, ladies, what are you feeling right now, and what are your thoughts about the turnout in Georgia?
Yeah, it's so crazy. I'm from Michigan. I've been voting in Michigan my whole life. I just moved here 2 years ago. So to be able to vote here and be a part of history being made is wonderful. It's so crazy. 2016, I was a part of Michigan flipping red, and that was crazy for me. So I was trying to figure out who needed me the most, kind of, in a sense. And Georgia seemed like they needed me.
Right.
Hello. So it makes me feel so just wonderful that I'm able to be a part of history being made in Georgia. It's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta agree with EB. It's such a big deal from 1992 to now for this to be read the whole time. You know, history plays a big role. Slavery plays a big role. Jim Crow, all the efforts that were put in the Southeast region, particularly a state like Georgia, to really prevent our communities and our people from voting, to see such a large turnout where we were able to flip a state. It's a big, big deal politically, and it also brings somewhat of a sense of community when it comes to Democratic voters as well.
Yes.
I just want to say shout out to all my homies. So 92, just so you guys know, I was not even thought of at that point. I was not alive. So this is the first time in my lifetime that this has happened, period. But then, like, also, a lot of my friends voted for the first time ever this year. So, like, the first time ever. The last election, a lot of my friends didn't feel encouraged to go out and vote. It was our first time ever voting, and Trump, you know. Anyways, so shout out to those of you guys that registered this year and decided to actually vote, decided that your voice matters, because it does, and obviously we made a difference.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
Stacey Abrams had a lot to do with that.
So much. She got over 800,000 new voters. New voters, not just
Shout out to
800,000,
her.
but new voters, people who have never voted before. And in addition to what IC Juan is saying, I just want to say shout out to Gen Z, because this is a lot for them. A lot of them turned 18 this year in 2020, and they showed up and showed out for us. And it was so, so important. Now, you guys, of course, we have something to celebrate, but the work is not done. The Georgia Senate runoff is on January 5th, 2021. Now, for Democrats, we have John Ossoff and Raphael Womack, and they will face off with the Republican candidates David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. Now, the deadline for voter registration is December 7th, but early voting begins December 14th, which is next month. So it's coming up, you know. Let your voice count again. A lot of times we get so wrapped up in these exciting things. You know, history is being made. We've now voted for our new president-elect, Joe Biden. But all of the things that happen in our state are the things that affect us directly. Those are the things that are happening day to day that we need to make sure we are informed on, that we have the right people in Senate and the right people in Congress. So, ladies, that is the news for today.
Yes.
Now, remember, you can catch us on all of your major streaming platforms every other Tuesday at Women Unplugged _, and that's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, of course. And you can catch us every Thursday right here on YouTube at Women Unplugged Podcast. So thank you guys so much. We love you, and we'll see you soon.